Okay, so in this set of videos, I'm going to go through trying to get your character that we made in the animation rigging toolkit over to another person's workstation. Say if you were needing to send it through a zip file or online with other people that you work with, or directly hand it off to someone with a thumb drive or a physical copy of what you've done. I'm going to first show you how to export that, and then in another video I'm going to be over at another workstation that I have that does not have those character files in it, and I'm going to show you how to get those character files into the other workstation that does not have the characters in there. So let's go ahead and start off by opening up our character that we want to send out. So I'm going to go ahead and open up our character Alicia that we had been working on. Again, we can recognize her from this crazy face that the picture that wanted to be taken gave us. I'm not sure why the settings come out like that. I know it's on Renderer 2.0, but because Renderer 2.0 does a certain setting that allows the alphas to happen, I guess it took it from that instead of going with the default renderer, which we can use object transparency sorting in the shading window to keep that from happening whenever we use alphas on our characters. Okay, so we have our character here that we had done in the last set of videos where we got her all set up in the animation rigging tool set. She animates good, all her dynamics work and everything for the bones that have it. So we want to take this character and send her off. Well, in order to locate where all of the files are that are associated with this character, it's best if you go up to Epic Games on the tab that's installed in Maya and come down to animation settings. I'm sorry, go down to settings here. And in the path, in the tools path, it'll show you it'll tell you where exactly all these files are located. If you have a hard time seeing it, you can easily just click and hold and then just select gradually and just kind of scan through so you can actually read everything that's where this is all at. So for me, it's going to be located in my C drive and engine 4.5 because that's the current engine that I'm running on. And from there, the extra menu is the same place you would grab your script to install to get the animation interface, the animation rigging toolkit put into Maya. So for here, I'm not going to record me navigating to where it was. I already pre-navigated there and had a window open so I can go right there and not waste time just trying to find the files. So let me come down to my C drive here. Alright, so if I'm on my PC, my C drive, let me go down to my program files, let me locate my Unreal Engine 4.5, the engine file, extras, my animation rigging tools, my tools, and in this general folder, your art folder here is where all those files are going to be that are associated with the characters that you save out in your libraries. So if I open up my art file, I'm going to notice there's a couple different files in here that break down each stage of when we were building this character, along with any information we had saved out and exported. Like for the last videos we had to do, we had to export out all that information, open a brand new scene and clear all those nodes out, and then bring our character in and then reapply all the settings that we had saved out. Those were saved out in this area here within the Unreal kit, in the Unreal files. So we go through in our joint mover templates. This is where we saved out like our skeleton template and any of those. Now, if you built a character and they came out just fine the first time and didn't come out with any errors, you can go through and you can actually save out all that information associated with this character. So if we close down our animation interface, now let's just start up a new scene because we have our character saved in the library. She'll be there at all times. So we have a brand new scene. Let's go ahead and go down to our Epic Games tab for the animation rigging toolkit. And if we go down to edit existing character instead of add character for animation, which was that interface we looked at, we can go down to edit existing character. It's going to pull up the two files that I had saved. Right now we're working on Alicia since we added her to a library. And what I want to do is I want to edit that export file. I'm sorry, I want to edit out that rig file. So if I go to edit rig file, it should open up the rig. If it does open up a window that I'm not looking for, I'm going to have to go back. But it did not do that in this case. So we're basically going to be working again from the very end of this character productions pipeline, going backwards to the beginning, saving out all that information. Now if you followed the other videos I had done, we had already done that, but I'll go through it again for anyone that has not. So from here, I know I want to save out the skinning information that I have on this character for all of her bones that are associated with that have weighting information to the mesh. So I'm going to select this character, this geometry, and then I want to go on to export. We can give it a file name, and I'm going to name it after her. ALSHI Alicia skin weights. Go ahead and accept. And it saved out all the weighting information associated with this character. Now, one thing I wanted to point out too is if your character is one mesh like this, saving out that one file will save everything. But if your character is a little bit more complex and made up of like multiple pieces, such as he's got like armor over the front of him, and underneath that armor like he has like a bodysuit for the character's under, because the armor doesn't move when he animates. Those you'd have to save out separately as separate weight files. So you do want to be descriptive upon saving your naming conventions when you're saving out, so you can remember, or whoever you hand it out to, it's descriptive enough for them to know, oh, that weight information is associated with those pieces. But luckily for her, we only have one piece. So we have her skin weight saved out, so let's go back to skeleton placement. I'm just going to go ahead and acknowledge these windows. I just need to get back to skeleton placement here. Okay, I have an error. Oh, okay. It's telling me something about the naming convention for this character. It's not liking the naming, so I'm going to come down to Window, General Editors, and I'm going to come down to my namespace editor. I don't know what it is, but I think it's because it's a character copy. It added some extra stuff, so I'm going to select this character's mesh component. I'm just going to push delete and merge with root. And all that did is it just deleted, it changed out the name of the character. So earlier this entire mesh name was just long and tedious and had a bunch of characters that this animation rigging tool did not like, or Maya did not like, I should say. So let me go back to here and hopefully it should go through. I think it did. Okay, I guess it didn't update, so let me close out this interface here and reopen it. So go down, navigate to edit existing character, and nope. Character rig creator. Come on. Okay, so running into this issue where it's not letting me pull this character out. Well, either way, we already saved out the weighting information, so we can go ahead and we'll just start out a new file again. I always do new scenes, because I like to keep everything as clean as I possibly can, so I'm not ending up with like extra nodes and extra nonsense I don't need to be working with. So let's go back to edit existing character, and this time I want to go to the edit export file, and I'm not going from the rigging file itself. So from here I have all of her joints, all of her mesh again. Still put me back to skeleton placement. Alright, I apologize about that hiccup you guys may have noticed in the video, but what happened was I was not able to get the character to come back to this last menu and the deformation setup, but that namespace delete that I had done earlier did fix it when I went back with this character. I didn't want to have any more waste of time and just fiddle around in the menus trying to fix it. So if you delete that name in the namespace editor, or general editors namespace editor, whatever name was in there, I just pushed delete and merge with parent, not root, and that got rid of it. So from here, I'm going to go ahead, I want to hide that proxy model, save out that template of the joint placement. I already made that earlier file, so it's right here, already found. So I'm going to go ahead and save over that. I'm going to go back again to the skeleton creation window. It has all of our template settings saved. So I'm going to save out this template for the bones. Alicia bone template. I'm going to save it, and I want to overwrite that. Okay, so now we have all of our files saved that we're going to need to open in the ArtKit for referencing this mesh. Now the problem is if we go into the other computer and we have all these templates, sometimes I've been running into errors where it's not able to find this in Maya's not able to reference this mesh. So we're going to save out this mesh too, but I want to save it into the new file I'm going to create on my thumb drive. So this mesh can be opened directly in Maya's workspace, and then I'll show you when we get over to the other workstation. So real quick, let's go ahead and export this character. I want to export selection. Let me go down to my thumb drive. So in my computer, I have my thumb plugged into my computer where I'm going to be saving it out. I have an ArtKit file. I have an ArtKit file saved. So I'm going to go ahead and call this Alicia Mesh. And just go ahead. I'm going to do it as a my ASCII. Export that selection. We have the unknown nodes and data. So we're fine with that. Let's go ahead and close out the art tool set, so we don't need that in the way. So again, if you need to delete those unknown nodes if you can't export anything, so just go down to File, Optimize Scene Size. We got under your options for that. Come down to Unknown Nodes, Optimize, Yes, and Apply. Correction, let me undo that. Alright, let's go ahead and export this character out again. Mesh, export, and now our mesh is exported into our thumb drive, so we'll be able to open her up from there. Okay, so as of right now, we are done with working in Maya for getting this character out. What we need to do next is we need to come in to our folders for our thumb drive, where I have my art files. There's our Alicia. Don't mind there's the text icon there. It's a my ASCII file. And then we want to come down to where we navigated for our art folder in the Unreal Maya tools. And we're going to go ahead and we need to start moving over all the files that are specifically associated with Alicia's character mesh. Well, I'm just going to move over. I'm going to select these because we're not going to merge directly these files over to the other station. I'm going to end up selecting all these files. I'm going to go ahead and copy these. And I want to drop them in here. And the reason I'm doing that, it has a couple other characters. You can be specific and go in and make a folder that's called this, and then just drag that one file over and put it in there. So that way when you're over at the other workstation, they'll know, oh, okay, we have to associate this file, name the same thing in the art tools. And we're just going to drag this file that's for all the skeleton templates over to the other one. So as right now, this should be all the files that we need to move our character over to the other art kit, over to the other workstation. So at this point, you could take this file here and you could take the art file and you could zip it up, send it out on whatever you're doing with the other team members. And for the next video, I'm going to show how to get this folder as it is right now. If they had the blank workspace on their Maya, opening this folder and go ahead and associate the files so they can then open the character up on their side and begin to animate the character with everything you've already built. So, alright, we'll be right back.